Quade Cooper and the Wallabies, 28 points to 26 winners over the Springboks in the Rugby Championship round number 3. We'll go over some of the key events, some of the stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to go to bed pretty soon because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning as I record this. Interesting game, really close, goes down to the last kick of the game, and it's that bloody Quade Cooper, man. What a selection choice from Dave Rennie in picking him, because that paid off pretty much immediately. But anyway, with the events, and you guys can give me your thoughts, like I said. Australia, I thought, struggled a little bit with the kicking game from the box early, and the box managed to convert from the tee to make it 3-0. But the Wallabies hit back pretty quickly. That one was not rolling away at the breakdown from the box, so 3 points apiece. Both sides kind of trading shots. First blood at scrum time went to the Springboks. That was from Tom Banks not taking a bloody high ball. And the Boks putting the pressure on at scrum time to make it 6-3, but then not releasing from the Springboks down the other end, and it's 6 points apiece. So both sides kind of trading penalties, as is often the way games unfold at the start of the game, as they're kind of being maybe a bit tentative. Khaleesi gets yellow carded for a tip tackle on 15 minutes, picks up Tom Banks, and Tom Banks is kind of able to brace himself, so luckily he doesn't hit his head. But he gets him above the horizontal. Ref says dangerous tackle, so Khaleesi spends 10 minutes at the bin. And unlike last week, when the Wallabies couldn't convert against the All Blacks with 20 minutes with the extra man, this week the Wallabies do it immediately. Karevi gets a long ball out to Callaway, who kind of cuts inside. And Karevi, very good playmaker and tackle buster for the Wallabies, gets them some real go forward ball, and then he's able to set up guys outside him, which Callaway, he's looked really good since he's come in at international level as well. So they get that try. The pass, I think, did drift forward, but it's backwards out of the hands. That's just the way the rugby laws work, right? If you run them fast and you pass a ball to the side, it's going to drift forward. That's the physics. So a legal pass, even if it looked a bit dodgy on the camera, I think it was fine. I only saw it like twice, but I thought it looked fine. So, good pass and good try from the Wallabies. So 13 points to 6, and the Wallabies have scored 7 points during the yellow card, which is kind of what you want, right? You get a man advantage, you want to score at least 7 points, preferably more, but at least 7. The Boks did have a chance to kick a penalty during that yellow card period, though, when Dwayne Vermeulen turned over Korobete, but they missed it. Pollard missed it. And missed kicks in this game, when you look at that scoreline, they're pretty brutal. They are pretty brutal. Lucanio arm did go pretty close as well. At one point, Tate McDermott did really well to kind of disrupt when he was defending the in-goal area from the ground, essentially. A loose ball that was bobbling. So good play from him. Desperation stuff. The Wallabies eventually, though, did see yellow of their own. Matt Phillip got yellow carded. It was a maul. Penalty considered maul, penalty considered warning, and then third time, unlucky for Matt Phillip, collapsed them all, and he's off in the bin. So it was time for the Wallabies to have a guy down, and the Springboks to take advantage. And sure enough, just like the Wallabies did, the Springboks do too. They go maul again. Why wouldn't you? And Mbonambi powers over for a try. They missed the conversion, which again is pretty costly, but it's 5 points during the yellow card for them and 13 points to 11. So it's a tight game. The Wallabies just edging it, but they managed to put a bit of distance. Cooper gets another penalty for the Wallabies, and again, it's during the yellow card. So the yellow card ends up being 5-3 by the time Matt Phillip comes back on. So it's only a 2-point gain to the Springboks during that yellow card, which compared to the Wallabies 7 from their one, doesn't quite compare as favourably. 16 points to 11. Tate McDermott, who's having a pretty good game, at one point throws the ball to Lucanio arm. So Lucanio arm seems to have some kind of magic of being at the right place at the right time. He's just a smart guy. He just reads plays really well. He sees the ball's going to go to Cooper and gets himself in the way. He did it the other week with the Argentinians as well. Lucanio arm's got a gift for that, and he's very good at it. Wallabies, though, did attack 38 minutes. They got like 12 phases on the Springboks line. Alatoa takes a big tackle from Diaka and ends up spilling the ball. So you're thinking that's a chance gone for the Wallabies. But from the scrum, which has been a bit under the pump, they managed to really shove forward and win a penalty. So Cooper slots that one. So it's 19 points to 11 in the Wallabies' favour at halftime. Looking pretty decent value, man. Possession is 66-34. Territory 69-31. In the Wallabies' favour, they've had more run meters, 136-64. The Boks have been kicking it. that's their style, right? 21 kicks to the Wallabies 14. And they've forced the Wallabies guys to concede more penalties. It's 7-4. So it's kind of balanced on a bit of a knife edge. Second half, Tate McDermott doesn't come back on. He looks to have injured his leg. So Nick White is the replacement, but he's a pretty experienced guy to be fair to be coming back on. Boks win a penalty. And Pollard misses it, man. And it's a pretty straightforward one. He gets a second chance a bit later, which he does make. So Hooper concedes a pretty soft penalty at the breakdown. So it's 19 points to 14. And there's been some handbags prior to that as well. So I think both sides are kind of feeling the game at this point. 46 minutes, Swinton gets probably a bit lucky. He goes in full no arms on Diaka and gets conceded penalty. Only I guess because he hit him in the body and nowhere dangerous. But it's pretty dumb from Swinton. It's like brain explosion dumb. Literally just no arms. I don't know what he was thinking other than that he wanted to really smash. Oh no, it's into Etzebeth, isn't it? It's not Diaka. It's Etzebeth. He absolutely clobbers him. So yeah, it's a penalty only, which is probably pretty lucky. I don't know, but again, he didn't hit him anywhere head or neck or anything like that. He hit him in the body, I think. So but just dumb stuff from Swinton. Not his finest hour by any means. On 50 minutes, we saw the first 50-22 in the competition. Not the first international one, like the commentary team might have you believe, because the Canadians and Americans have been doing that for the last 2 weeks. But, there was a 50-22 from Nick White. And that leads to Willie le Roux under a bit of pressure out wide, having to try to intercept a pass from a couple of was it Karevi and Callaway again? Can't even remember. But le Roux ends up tapping it forward. One-handed, which you've seen for years. That's a yellow card all day long. You can argue about the law about attempted intercepts and whether they're actually going for it or actually trying to knock the ball on, but knock the ball one-handed, don't gather it at your peril, he gets yellow carded. No penalty try though, but the Aussies did opt for the 3, and sure enough they kicked it, so it's 22-14. Starting to extend that lead a wee bit, the Wallabies. Hooper's doing really well for the Wallabies on their own goal line. He's just a Mr. Everywhere. He'll get a tackle, get back up, make the next tackle, get back up, wins a turnover. So he is just Mr. Everywhere, man. Can't be said for Tom Banks, who misses another high ball, and that puts the Aussie defence under pressure again. And then Folau Fainga'a puts in a pretty bad grass cutter tackle, which again, like le Roux, if you're going to do grass cutters, you're going to get yellow carded. So he does get yellow carded. The TMO has a look at it. So both guys, kind of got what they were asking for, to be fair. And that leads to a try from Malcolm Marks, man. It's another maul. The Wallabies contested it in the air, I guess because they figure without Fainga'a, they're not going to be able to win the maul. And as soon as they lose the aerial battle, the South African maul just powers through. So, 21 points to 22. It's a very, very close game at that point. Visa gives away a pretty soft breakdown penalty by not supporting his own body weight. It's, like when you look at the scoreboard, you'll look back at that one and go, that was a bit silly. But Cooper, who's not missing anything in this game, slots at 25-21. Pollard passes it into touch on 64, and that's the end of the game for him, man. He had a bit of a stinker, to be fair. I know people give out in Yankees a lot of crap, but Pollard, not on form today, to be honest. I mean, some of the kicking from him was okay. Some of it was a bit off. But, he gets subbed, and Damian Willems comes on. The box scrum is looking good again. They win a penalty. They go for a line out, but the Aussie maul defence holds, so it kind of steps up at the right moments, the Aussies. The Boks get a 5 metre maul on 70 minutes. They spin it wide, and Kossi and le Roux go pretty close, but there's nothing doing. They do go back for a advantage, though, which they did have. And sure enough, on the second attempt, this time Malcolm Marks is able to go through a big maul. The Wallabies almost stopped it, but the whole team got in there for the Boks pretty much. And they powered over. So they take the lead with a few minutes to go. They missed the conversion. Damian Willems' kick's a bit of a stinker, so no better than Pollard's. And it's 26-25 to the Boks. Hooper gets a line break on like 76 minutes, and it's a 2-on-1 with Willems as the guy who's defending. It's Hooper and Hodge. And somehow they managed to blow it. Credit to Willems, man. He manages to get himself in the way really well to shut that move down. And then on 78 minutes, the Wallabies, with like a minute and a half left, have got the ball. Hodgie's running it, and he puts in it up and under. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? There's only a minute to go. Why are you surrendering the ball? You guys need to get points. And there ends up being a knock-on. So it's a scrum, and it's a box feed. And based on the way this game has gone, there's no way in heck anything's going to happen for the Wallabies. But by some miracle, the touchy calls a scrum penalty after it kind of all goes to custard. And Quade Cooper from like 45 metres with an angle slots that penalty like it's nothing. And he puts them in front to win the game at the death. Absolutely unbelievable stuff, folks. Like, that's edge of your seat test rugby action. Like, it wasn't like bonkers, crazy, running all, at all costs rugby, but it was proper test match entertainment, edge of the seat. You don't know what's going to happen right until the death. Big tackles, big turnovers, big mauls. Like, honestly, proper fun stuff. Run meters finished 211 to 144, so the Springboks were on the lower side for that one. The Boks kind of the Wallabies had it. Wallabies had more possession, 57%, more territory, 56%. The Boks mauled it up more, which is kind of what we expect from them. It's such a powerful weapon, and it worked. 9 from 10 of them were successful. The Wallabies had 3 from 3. Defenders beaten, though, the Wallabies 21 to the Boks 4. Karevi's responsible for many of those. Clean breaks is 3-zip, so pretty hard to come by in this game. Offloads 12-2 with the Wallabies having more, but also 9 knock-ons to the Boks 4. So it kind of went with the preview stuff about the Wallabies chucking it around a bit and sometimes losing it. But though one stat for the Wallabies will be particularly pleasing, 95% tackle completion is phenomenally good. They made 83 tackles. The Boks were at 85% and made 120. Penalties conceded, the Wallabies were on the wrong end of it. 17 conceded to the Boks 11. Individuals, Karevi, 6 defenders beaten, 53 run meters. Hooper has 2 clean breaks and makes 8 tackles. For the Boks, Tiyaka makes 13 tackles but misses 5, which is a bit uncharacteristic. At least one of those was on Karevi. Mostert makes 13 out of 14, so kind of to be expected from those guys. Interestingly, the Bok wingers didn't get any ball, man. And Kossi had 1 run, Mpimpi had 1 run. So kind of unfortunate those guys weren't able to get into the game a bit more. Kicks from hand finishes 21 to 38. So a fair bit from the boot. But yeah, a few missed kicks from Pollard, whereas Quade was 8 from 8. So yeah. Crazy game, folks. It had moments, and there was just that one massive moment at the end where, if you watched it, you wouldn't have enjoyed it if you're a Springboks fan, but I hope you enjoyed the game just being that close and proper test match rugby, man. It's always a pleasure. I'm going to go to bed because it has ticked over 1 in the morning. We're at 13 minutes. You guys take care of yourselves. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Like the video if you got all this way through it. And yeah, I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.